Hey, good morning, everyone. How's it going today? Coach Alvarez here, back at you with another episode, Coffee with Coach. Man, it's amazing how I find some of this stuff sometimes, how things just kind of connect. So again, I hope everyone's up, doing well, making things happen, making some moves, got the mind in the right place. If not, let's put it in the right place. So yesterday I was reading, I'm in this book, another Jocko book, The Code, The Evaluation, The Protocols, all right? See if I can get it in there, okay? This one here. So I was talking about the code yesterday, the code, and what was the code, and I broke down the code. It's basically like a personal mission statement. And at the end of the code yesterday, it says the code sets a standard for the highest possible standard and reveals the path we must follow. So what is a path? All right, what is a path? How do you find it and how do you stay on it? All right, so let's break it down. So what is the path? Let's find out what the path is. And just real quick, while I was laughing in the beginning is, my daughter Danielle, she had sent me a message just now, right before I was getting ready to start the video. It's a picture that JT Torres posted, and it looks like it's a staircase. It looks like it's an apartment or his house. He's got a little emoji with the key, so it looks like he's getting ready to get a new place. It looks nice, looks really nice. And my reply was, nice, and it was also, he stayed on the path. JT Torres, if you know who JT Torres is, he's been in the game for a very long time, high-level jiu-jitsu black belt, got his own school in the New York, New Jersey area, something like that. But he stayed on the path to get to where he's got to, right? So that was just kind of my thing to her was like, you can have that too. You just got to do the same thing, stay on the path. So what is a path? And then this is out of the Jocko book, right? So the path is how you become what you want to be, who you want to be, and what the world needs you to be, okay? What the world needs you to be. It is how you reach your potential. It is the path of discipline that leads to freedom. The path of discipline that leads to freedom. The path is a war against weakness, so it leads to strength. Man, he starts it off with weakness, man. That's huge. All these books, all are the same thing. And people literally get upset with me because I talk about weakness so much, okay? You have to address weakness. Weakness is weakness. It is what it is. And if you have it, you need to strengthen it and get it better and get rid of it, because if not, it'll just lead you down the wrong path, all right? So a war against weakness leads to strength. A war against ignorance, so it leads to knowledge. A war against confusion, so it leads to understanding. The path is your life, and so the path is different for everyone. It is your goals, your dreams, what you want to become. The path is yours, but at the same time, much of the path is the same for everyone. The path is how you strive to become eminently qualified human, an eminently qualified human. So how do I find the path? Finding the path isn't as hard as you think. Some of it is clearly defined in the code, which is what I read yesterday. So if you don't understand what the code is, go back to yesterday's video. I think it's episode 71, and check out the code, right? So let's move forward. The rest of the path comes from simple questions you can ask yourself. What do you care about? What do you want to be? What matters most to you? What are the most important things in your life? Who are the most important people in your life? And what do you need? What do they need from you? Answer those questions, then write down what you need to achieve them. Those things that you need to do, you're supposed to do, what you know you must do. Those things are the path. The path is in your head waiting for you to follow it. Okay, so the first part is what is the path? This part is how do I find it? And then this next section is how do I stay on the path? All right, so once you see the path, you must begin to walk down it. This can be the most difficult part of the journey to break free from gravitational pull of weakness, again, weakness, habit, and fear. We got bad habits and, of course, fear. So we got to break free from that. The best way to start is to start. Don't hesitate. Don't wait. Don't analyze, plan, or research. Just start now. Okay? That's how he breaks it down. Once you begin down the path, you will soon realize it is not an easy path. The path is fraught with obstacles and distractions. Laziness, ego, weakness, again, weakness, and immediate gratification will all try to pull you off the path every day. You must fight them. You will even have to fight people who don't want you down that path, which I can totally relate to, which I'm sure a lot of you can too. It's the crabs in a barrel thing. You know, as you're climbing the way out of the barrel or the bucket, the other crabs are pulling you back down. You know, you see the emoji where you're climbing up the mountain and the other people are hanging on your ankles trying to yank you back down. We all have been through it. If you've been trying to succeed in something, someone's definitely going to try to hate on you and pull you down. Friends, family members, whatever. Enemies, haters. But you can fight and you can win. Every moment you are alive is made of choices you get to make. Okay? That's fire, man. Little tiny choices that alone mean nothing, but when combined together mean everything. You have to make the right choices, the hard choices. You have to deny immediate gratification and push back against what? Weakness. Okay? Again, weakness. You must impose unmitigated daily discipline in all things. This is how you stay on the path. We must stay on the path if we are able to become an eminently qualified human. So what does that mean? What's it look like? What are the attributes of this person? An eminently qualified human is a person who has achieved mastery in every facet of life. This person has reached their full potential in every measurable way. This person lives the code, okay? Lives the code. But in order for us to live the code, we need to clearly define its parts so that we can evaluate our progress every day. We need to an evaluation system to grade ourselves as we attempt to follow the code. And it should be hard. The bar must be set high. It should be near impossible. But just in striving, we become better, and we must implement discipline. We must aim to implement unmitigated daily discipline in all things. It is the only way, okay? There are countless aspects of life, each with a varying level of importance, but what are the most important? What aspects of life should be focused on? What should be the pursuit of excellence? Where should the pursuit of excellence be concentrated? It's easy to say that everyone's life is different and that it's impossible to quantify categories that are the most important, but that isn't true. There are some things in life which should be universally placed in the forefront of our efforts as human beings. To that end, here are the most critical parts of being an eminently qualified human and how they should be measured. And this is how we set the standard, which is the code evaluation, which is the next chapter, which I'll get into that tomorrow. So let's go back. Let's revisit some of these things. The path. What is the path? How do we find it? And then how do we stay on it, right? So again, the path is the discipline that leads to freedom. A war against weakness, so it leads to strength. A war against ignorance, so it leads to knowledge. A war against confusion, so it leads to understanding. The path is your life. Again, where do you want to go? Where do you want to be? Where do you see yourself in the next month, 6 months, year, a couple years from now, 10 years from now? What's your path? And if you don't have that path, you don't have that definition down yet, then you don't know where you're going to be. You don't know where you're going to end up at. Actually, I just had that conversation with some students this morning right after the 6 a.m. class. I asked one of my students, he was asking me a question on a technique or a position. And I said, okay, once we get here, what are you trying to achieve? Like, what's your objective is what I asked him. And he's like, well, I don't know. And I'm like, well, you got to know. Like, are you trying to go for an arm bar? Are you trying to go for a sweep? You're trying to go for, what is it that you are trying to get to? And my analogy was, it's like, look, just like in life, man, or you're trying to take a trip and you want to go from Texas, because we're in Texas, to the West Coast. And you just hop in the car and drive. And you don't know that you should be going west, but you don't have your mobile phone with the navigation or a map or anything old school highlighting some routes. And you end up going east. And you end up in New York. And someone in New York tells you, hey, California's west, man. You got to go the other way. Now you could have got there a lot sooner. You'll get there. It's going to take you a lot longer because why? You had no road map, no destination in your mind. You're just like, hey, I'm going to go California. You had no idea where it's at. All right. So obviously life is the same way. You got to have a path. If you don't know where your path is, man, it's simple. Like what he's talking about. You got to just ask yourself certain questions. What do you care about? What do you want to be? What matters most to you? Who are the most important people in your life and what do they need from you? Answer these questions, write them down so you can achieve them. And then the path is waiting for you. But you got to have a code. You got to have some things. You got to have respect for yourself. Some people just do things because they try to fit in. They try to just do things that other people are doing and they really shouldn't be doing them. Again, this thing's talking about weakness over and over again. Again, I catch a lot of flack about weakness because weakness it's like I don't know, man. It's just something that I talk to a lot of people about, and they're like, well, not everyone is as strong as you. Not everyone can be like you. And the answer is they can be. It's just they don't want to be. You know, it's a simple thing, like I've talked about in the past. Like there's no gray areas. It's yes or no. Do you want to be weak or do you want to be strong? Do you want to stay where you're at or do you want to move forward? Okay, there is no in between. It's just yes or no. Yeah, I want to stay where I'm at, or yeah, I want to go forward. So which one is it? Define your path, define your destination, see yourself where you want to be, and then take the necessary steps and necessary actions to get there. Again, I had a student this morning. His name is Michael. He's just starting jiu-jitsu. He's only been in it for a short amount of time. He got up for the 6 a.m. class this morning, and he's kind of questioning himself in the locker room, like, why did I get up this early to come and do this stuff? Like, you get up at 6 a.m. to come get smashed. You're new. You don't really know anything. You're going to get worked over, man. It's not a lot of fun in the beginning, You got to go through the process is what I told him. You made the necessary steps. You set the alarm clock. You got up. You got here. Like, you can't doubt yourself and you can't question, that you're here now. You're here. You got to put some work in, make some things happen, and then you go enjoy the rest of your day. Now, a lot of people don't do that, but the frustration on this individual's face is pretty tough to see as a coach, but I see it a lot. But you have to go through it. I told him, I said, no one walks in here and just has an easy path to this place that you want to get to. You want to learn jiu-jitsu, it looks like fun. You see it on TV, you see it on UFC. I want to get in shape, I want to learn self-defense. Whatever the case may be, it's rough. It's rough. It's for everyone if you stick it out. But that's anything. It's college. You can go to college and take a couple classes and be like, man, it's too hard. I quit. I'm done. You could want to go, lose some weight and you're on a certain diet plan. You know what? Forget this. I want to go back to eating my regular foods. I'm out. I'm going to go back to eating, Mexican food or whatever it is that you eat that isn't good for you and gives you diabetes and heart disease and everything else. What is it that you want to do? And are you willing to stay on that path? Like I said, beginning before the video, Danielle sends me a picture of a very nice staircase and it looks like a very nice house. I've known Mr. JT Torres for a very long time. He deserves something like that because of the fact that he's stayed on the path through all the trials and tribulations, everything that he's been through. He's getting what he wants in life because he's staying on the path. Will you do that? Will you do that? Are you willing to stay on the path and go through everything that you need to go through to get to the thing that you want to get to? So really good stuff today. Really wanted to share that with you. And it's just funny that, I knew what I was going to read today and share with you guys. And then here before Danielle shares that picture with me, and my response is, got to stay on the path. All right, guys, so stay on the path. Have a great day, and we'll catch you next time. We'll see you.